Hare Krishna. So just like we're having a party tonight, all of life should be a party. Like a famous song, Bhaja Bhaj by Chaitanya Yadai, Kevalananda Kanda. So this Krishna consciousness is simply only bliss. Kevala Ananda Kanda is the path only of happiness. Just chanting, dancing, taking prasadam, associating with the Vaishnavas, serving the Vaishnavas. That's what life is all about. And so, I have this particular service of sitting down here and, everybody offering flowers. But I'm just a servant. It's a service. Just like one of you may have a service of worshiping the deities, another person may have the service of cleaning the temple, and it's all the same. Except for the point, it's a question of your bhakti. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam balam toyam yome bhakta pariyachati. One should offer me at least a leaf of fruit and water. Probably more. Especially if you want to build a temple. So, so one should offer me with devotion. And if you have devotion, Krishna is happy. And if you offer Krishna the world, and you have no devotion, Krishna will not be pleased. So the whole point is to cultivate that internal mood of pleasing Krishna. That's the real point. And then, whatever you do will be pleasing to Krishna. Try to remember that. So does anyone have any questions? We did an elaborate question and answer session before this, and we can take more questions now. But okay, so that's a really big thing. Well, coming to the point of understanding that you're not the controller, and being ready for anything and everything Krishna throws at you. And Krishna has this interesting way of throwing things at you. And understanding is Krishna. Yomam pashati sarvachar. Sarvam chamaya pashati. Tashaham na pranashyami. Sachame na pranashati. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who sees everything in me and sees me in everything, he was never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to him. So in other words, if something happens, it's Krishna. And what is Krishna, I often talk about this, what is Krishna trying to say to me? What should I do? And do it. So that's how I've approached life. I mean, I never expected to see myself sitting here, having people offer me flowers and other things. That was not my expectation at all. My expectation was, I was a young brahmachari, then I'd go out and sang it on distribute books, and be happy eating halwa and sweet rice, and what else? Gulab jamuns, and pakoras, ice cream, pizza, cheese. My expectation was life would go on like that. Be just simple, humble devotee was very blissful. Fighting with the other devotees over Prabhupada's remnants. Like one time, I know Prabhupada's Vyas Puja, Prabhupada ate a piece of cake and he distributed it to the devotees, and we were punching each other, climbing on top of each other, practically killing each other. 10 brahmacharis on top of each other. The women didn't participate in that. And I thought life was just going to go on like that. Just filling my belly, and filling my soul too. But anyway, filling my belly with all sorts of opulent prasadam. But now here I am, sitting on a seat, and everyone's saying, well, you haven't said any nice things about me yet. But so people say nice things about me, and offering flowers, and I can't eat sweets anymore. And, it's like going to Disneyland and not being able to go on the rides. Because I'm happy. Sorry. Material happiness is the tongue. Dharmade Judvayati, Lomamoy, Saturmati, Takeji Taga. Katina Samstara, Krishna Bharatoi Moy, Kribaraj, Judvayati. So, anyway, I could never have predicted I'd be sitting here like this. Never. There's no way in the three worlds I would think like that. Although Although, where's my astrologer? Is he still here? No, he left already. He said it was going to happen. So, anyway, just be ready. Roll with the punches. And there'll certainly be a lot of punches. And I always mention the time that I had kidney stones. That was certainly a punch to the gut. And you just take that as an opportunity to be Krishna conscious. That's all. What can you do? You have an alternative. There's only one alternative. Be Krishna conscious or be upset, in Maya, angry, depressed. So you just take it, it's Krishna. Chant his name, be absorbed in his name. That's all you can do. And so that's how, I become resilient. I wasn't always resilient. Don't test me, Krishna, to see how resilient I am. I'm not that resilient, but you learn to deal with life. And as long as I can chant Hare Krishna, my ears can hear the holy names, I can associate with the devotees, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's just so wonderful to be with all of you. Isn't it? I mean, it's just such a warm, loving mood with everybody with the same goal, to be Krishna conscious. It's just like, oh my God, it's a dream come true. Not because I'm sitting on, it's not a high seat, but anyway, it's pretty low. But anyways, not because the respect or whatever. It's because I get to have everyone's association. And I get to serve the devotees. It is so cool. Sorry for the word cool. It is so amazing that I get to serve the devotees. I get to serve Prabhupada's mission. I go to the GBC meeting, it's something I would never do for anyone else. You have to talk about legalities, protecting the properties, all these interesting topics. And, it's a lot of things happening. But you're associating with devotees and serving Prabhupada and pleasing Prabhupada. I mean, my life, for me, it's like a dream come true. So we should make all of our lives like that. Not that everyone takes sannyas or whatever. But if you absorb your life in serving Krishna, your life will be like a dream come true. He could sell snow to an Eskimo. If any of you are ever buying a house or buying a car, he will go and help you.
For a price.
I volunteer his services.
For a price.
For a price. For bhakti. So, whatever talent you have, use it. Just be fully engaged in Krishna's service. It's so nice. It's so nice. I mean, I just think, what did I do to deserve this? What did I ever do? I mean, how did I ever please Prabhupada to deserve this life where I'm always associated with devotees? I get to go to the holy Dham, to go around, whoops, to go around Govardhan. Krishna, okay, to go, and this works now, to have a good microphone, to go around Govardhan and, just be with the devotees, and wow, isn't it? Like I was saying before about devotees buying Madhava's property. It's an advertisement, a paid contribution to the new temple. So we're so fortunate. So, that's how you roll with the punches. Always stay with the devotees no matter what. So, any other questions? This is your opportunity. Oh, yes.
You were just saying that we have.
Oh my, he's so intelligent. He can run circles around me. I mean, he's the only person I can't answer the questions. Don't become proud. Krishna will take away the intelligence if you're proud. All right, so what's the question?
You were saying just now that we have to use all of the whatever knowledge we have in the service of Krishna. But then there's some fields of knowledge that just don't seem to be easy to use in Krishna.
Good. You want to ask the same question you asked me before? So remembering the question he asked before. All right, about biology. He doesn't like biology. Am I right? Is that what you were going to ask? I have a good memory, it's not. I don't have any senior moments. So the question is, what about studying biology? My teacher makes me study biology. How is that connected to Krishna? Okay. I'll tell you several different ways, other than the way I answered you before. Last time I gave a really runabout, quite difficult answer to it, which had to do with Darwinian evolution and everything like that. I'll give you an easier answer. First of all, the more I study biology, I just become more Krishna conscious. And I actually am still studying biology. At this point, I'm studying, cellular biology, genetics, and all those other things for several purposes. One is it helps me with my being able to deal with people who believe in evolution, because I can explain mathematically. If anyone saw my presentation about several years ago, I did a presentation proving that evolution, at least the way that Darwin describes it, is so not impractical, but not impossible, so improbable that it's actually it's impossible. When you have 1/10 to the 100th power, whatever, it's practically impossible. So anyway, but another way is the more I study, the more I appreciate Krishna's intelligence, because I see how well arranged all the different interacting aspects of the body are. It's just like, oh my God, the immune system, for example. How the different immune cells, figure out there's an invader and and the cell, and how all these things. I'm not going to go into details. I say, wow, isn't Krishna wonderful? He is so intelligent. I develop more and more, I wouldn't say respect for Krishna. I want to dance with Krishna, so I can't have too much respect. But anyway, or at least play ball with him. So more and more appreciation for Krishna. It's amazing when you see some intricately designed machine. You just think how amazing the person who designed this machine is. And even when I see some computer program that's done, amazingly then I just appreciate the programmer. So here's a program, and if you look at DNA, for example, it's not only like computer code, it's nested computer code. I don't know if you know what nested computer code is. Let some geniuses like him explain it to you later on. It's just so, wow! Nobody has written code like this before. And so it makes me appreciate the greatness of Krishna. So that's one reason for studying biology. Another reason is I'm walking around with a biological machine. I want to figure out how the damn thing works. So to take care of it. For example, everybody knows I adjust my diet from time to time. Right now I'm following a ketogenic diet. Don't ask me why. But I do a lot of research. I find out how the body functions. What would cause inflammation, for example. How to reduce inflammation of the body. How to reduce the possibility of something really bad happening. Of course, something bad will happen anyway. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshana darshanam. We understand that. But how to run your machine? If you have a machine and you don't know how it works, It's like that example, is a funny example, of the lady who called the computer support. And she said, she called them, there's a problem. This is an older computer when they used to use disk drives. Either floppy disks or whatever, CD-ROMs. And she said, there's a problem with my computer. And the tech support said, what's the problem? And she said, the cup holder doesn't go back in the computer. He said, man, that's not a cup holder, that's a CD-ROM drive. Actually, if you ever talk to someone at tech support, you will hear so many funny stories. The people actually, where's the on-off switch for this? Isn't it? So, we have this body, and we shouldn't always have to call tech support. And so you can avoid a lot of problems if you understand how to deal with the body. Like Prabhupada every day, he went for his walk. He took a massage. Actually, there were several hours of massage that Prabhupada took. It wasn't sense gratification. It was to keep the body running nicely. Prabhupada was expert. Prabhupada even came up with his own toothpaste. So, actually, if someone is intelligent, and you are intelligent, one should be interested in everything that goes on around them. I am. Everything from psychology to biology to Krishnology, whatever that is, to music. I mean, I can't learn everything about everything, but Prabhupada said you should learn something about everything. Prabhupada actually said that. And how does that help me? Here's another reason. When I go in to speak to almost anybody, I can speak to them on their language, which is really helpful. I'll give you an example. There's one disciple, a very good disciple. He wasn't a devotee before. And he was thinking of getting married to one of my disciples in Fiji. Isn't it actually in Fiji? All right. So, first of all, his respective wife says to him, this is actually funny, if I happen to get married to you, you're also married to my guru. Anyway. Somebody said that. Anyway, so, but he comes to me, and, I didn't preach to him in the beginning. I said, what do you do? He said, I work in a gold mine. Of course, I didn't think, hey, take me to work with you. Because there was a gold mine in Fiji. So I described it. I asked him, how does it work? And then I talked to him about a little bit about electronics, about wiring and everything like that. He said, oh my God. He knows about all these things. Oh my God. And so now, he's actually one of my most enthusiastic disciples right now. He's the one who hosts me when I go to Sydney, Australia. Well, I stay at his relative's house, but he takes care of me, and I'm having the actual Vyas Puja at his house. And because he had that initial connection that I was interested and knew about what he was doing. If you can approach people and you could know a little bit about what they're doing, oh my God, they really appreciate it. Isn't it? You think about it. If he says, I'm in a gold mine, you say, that's Maya. Because gold is just like a symptom of Kali Yuga, That Kali resides there. Another thing you should understand about gold, described in the Bhagavatam, is like yellow stool. It's just actually Shastric. So you begin to quote Shastra, and you don't have any friends. But if you show interest, and you have to genuinely be interested in people, then, wow, And it is interesting. Not only, it's not just a technique. I love to learn about everything. You stop learning, you start dying. I mean, those of you who even work in the computer field and programming, you have to upgrade your skills continually. Every month or two, you have to upgrade your skills. Otherwise, you'll be redundant or whatever they call it. Obsolete. Sorry, obsolete. So it's very important. Confirmed. To be always interested in learning. And so as far as biology, was that your question about biology again? I'm sorry, I gave you your question. It probably wasn't your question. Go ahead and ask me a question.
What I asked was how we can use all of our knowledge in the service of Krishna.
Oh, I was explaining that. Well, can you give me an example of any knowledge that can be used in the service of Krishna?
Mathematics.
Mathematics?
Oh man, you opened up a can of worms now.
What? That's the easiest one. Easiest one. Did you know I built the temple? Who do you think calculated all the angles and everything like that? We didn't have computers then either. We didn't have computers. What am I going to do without a computer? We didn't have AI. All he had was I. I didn't even have Jadurani and Omkara there. All I could do was just take my pen and paper. I did have a pocket calculator, though, I have to admit. And figure everything out, and, dimensions and everything like that. It takes a lot of mathematics to build a temple. Also, okay, so if you spend any money... Whose computer?
That's the alarm.
Oh, it's the door.
That's
It's the alarm. So, just like later on, you'll probably be managing a household, or you probably get married, right? You haven't thought about that one yet? Right? He's about ready to ask me, how do you engage that in Krishna service? He said, I always heard it was Maya. So anyway, I mean, later on, you're going to have to manage finances, right? No? Okay. Talk to me when you have money. I'll be able to get plenty from you. If you don't know where the decimal point goes, you're in trouble. So, it's very important. I mean, even I use algebra all the time. I have to figure so many things out. You have to calculate voltages sometimes. I mean, I installed in my house that I have right now my own air conditioning unit. So I had to do the wiring. I had to do so many things and calculations and everything like that. I mean, I use mathematics all the time. And also I supervise the temple finances too. How am I going to analyze? We have to build a temple now. It's not built just on Krishna's mercy. What is Krishna's mercy? Krishna, pay for the temple. So, yeah. Mathematics is so important. Plus, how are you going to work when you get older? What sort of job are you going to have?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably it'll be connected somewhere. Everybody's going to be connected with computers. Or connected to the computer. Through a brain interface. Welcome to the Matrix. So, I mean, yeah. So you better learn it. You know, programming, mathematics is so important. So what's your answer to that?
You just told the answer.
What other subject matter do you think can't be connected? You'll be connected to Krishna.
Physics?
Physics? Well, when you talk about physics, there's different types of physics. But at least you should know what goes up comes down. That's physics. He's playing with me, he knows. I pay him to do this, you know. Physics. What do you think physics is?
Physics like
Physics is the study of the material world and how it functions.
yeah.
You're in the material world. You should learn how it functions. Your action, reaction, simple physics, or quantum mechanics. Anyway, I'm interested in all that. And it helps my Krishna consciousness because I can talk to people, almost anyone I can talk to, and they can appreciate that I know something, a little something about. The only thing I don't know about, forgive me, is dancing. I talked to Champagan. I don't know, don't want to know. Don't tell me. I like the plays, but don't tell me about how you do all those things. But that hasn't hurt me that much. Actually, it's better they don't have me engaged in dancing. Before I joined the movement, I don't know if I should tell the story. My parents thought they should teach me how to dance. But this was Western dance. So they sent me to a dance school. Imagine. And I got kicked out. Because every time we tried to dance, I was stepping on everyone's toes. So that's why I'm not in any of the plays that Champaka arranges. We all have our own skill set, but we should know about this world. We should know how things function. And your academic subjects are wonderful. History. Why do you learn history?
To know the past and how it came to be the present.
Yes. But why? What's useful about that?
Maybe you can say.
All right. Well, so it doesn't repeat, so you know what to do. And you can also predict certain things that are happening. I mean, you look at the politics in America, you can see certain patterns. You know, so it's very helpful. And interesting. And interesting, too. I mean, especially, I love Indian history, too. I mean, I've been reading about this recently. A lot of the Indian history has been changed just out of political correctness, you know. Like all the atrocities that were there, they haven't been put in the textbooks. And now they're revamping the textbooks to put some of those things in. You know, so people should learn. I mean, right now in America, they're trying to change certain teachings so the abuse that happened in America, like the slavery, they're trying to keep it from people hearing about it. So this whole thing of political correctness, we want to know what happened in the past. So your Indian history is extremely interesting. Extremely. And you have, for example, you have the best mathematicians, the best astronomers, right? Talk about mathematics, the Pythagorean theory that's the truth that the Pythagoras came from India. Pythagoras was just like learning, he just had his own group, his yoga group, yoga school. It's true, it's actually true. So you learn about your own culture, you're able to talk to people about it, it helps you appreciate, actually, also it helps you appreciate Indian culture and Indian, everything that happened in India before, that science advances. You know, zero was invented in India? Do you like zero?
In mathematics, yes.
In mathematics. In money, you don't. But yeah, I mean, without zero, we couldn't function. We wouldn't have any of the systems we have today. So isn't that interesting? You don't find it interesting? Yeah. So why did you say it wasn't interesting? It is so interesting. What? Anyway, life is interesting. You should be like a sponge, absorbing information wherever you go. Like Prabhupada was like that. He would walk through the forest, and then he would ask the devotees, "What type of tree is that?" But they would say, "We don't know, Prabhupada." And Prabhupada would say, "It's this type of tree." How did Prabhupada learn that? Oh yeah, Krishna was just telling him it was an oak. No. Prabhupada was interested to find out. You find that anyone who walked with Prabhupada. He would be asking sometimes the questions to the devotees, what is this? And Prabhupada knew. And so Prabhupada was exactly like that. Advanced spiritualist Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was like a walking encyclopedia. He knew about anything. And he impressed the Britishers and made so many devotees. So, who else has a question? They're interesting. So, all right, yes, another genius. He's going to university. How old are you now? 15. He's going to university. He's getting his PhD next year. What was the question?
How can we always remain absorbed in Krishna consciousness? And many times we hear its association, but as soon as we momentarily are away, we only come back. But sometimes, when we're by ourselves, that time, Maya gets us. It makes us lazy. It makes us not enthusiastic.
Keep the holy names going all the time. Just like I said, when I wake up in the morning, immediately, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. When I was a brahmachari, I used to chant myself to sleep every day. Every day. I was so dedicated. Some people chant themselves to sleep during the morning program, but that's a different issue. But anyway, so I would tie, I'm not saying you should do this, but I would tie my bead bag to my hand before I went to sleep. Don't do it. It's not a good age mojo. So, and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night and sit up and start chanting loudly until the other brahmacharis started yelling at me for waking them up. But it was like that, Hare Krishna, Hare, so as soon as I wake up, it's Hare Krishna, Hare, I'm in the shower, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Or put on some Prabhupada class. When I do my deities every morning, I'm listening to a whole Bhagavatam class every morning. Prabhupada, just fill your life with transcendental sound. We have this technology. On my mobile phone, I have everything that Prabhupada ever recorded. It's just amazing. So utilize the technology and be chanting always and listen to music, whatever. It's quite easy. I find it very easy. And when I'm with people who are not yet Krishna conscious, we're not going to use the K word, then I'm just thinking, how can I bring them to Krishna consciousness? I get more Krishna conscious. How can I bring them to Krishna consciousness? They're suffering. Krishna, give me the intelligence. So there's prayers there. So, it takes training. Takes training. But you'll get it. You have good samskaras. I have bad samskaras. Krishna sort of got rid of my bad ones. But I was worse than Ravana. Ravana at least was Vedic. Isn't it? He's a Vedic demon. He was. He was Brahmin. He chanted the mantras perfectly, much better than I could chant. Much better than you. Look at him. Look where he ended up. So don't be too proud of your mantra chanting. So, anyone else ask a question before we take prasad? Anyway, it's so nice being with the devotees. What can I say? I keep repeating the same thing. Yes.
It seems like you brought up not being enthusiastic to study these different things. It seems that we have to, there's that line too, where you don't really, not give your heart for your study.
No.
That's for Krishna.
Yeah, it's not that I study, sit down and memorize all these things. I hear these things and I just don't spend a lot of time learning those things. But I find it interesting. But everything I've learned in school, almost everything I'm using in Krishna service. Everything I'm trying to think of some things I'm not using. Yeah, square dancing. Well, that's another funny story. That I thought I didn't want to do physical education at the university. It was a requirement. So I took a square dancing course. Because, my expertise in dancing is not there. So I walked into the course, and it's one of these dance halls where there was mirrors on all sides, so the room looks even bigger, and it was all women there. So I opened the door, walked in, dropped the course. I was scared. Anyway, so, yeah, there's certain things you learn at the university. Actually, I didn't do anything really bad at the university. I was a pretty good behaved kid. All right. Who else has a question? This is your only opportunity.
Fixed morning schedule, like morning sadhana, morning.
How to have it?
How to regulate it? How to have it like without deviation, just like your snishta.
Are you wearing a watch? First of all, get yourself a watch. Prabhupada always wore a watch. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wore a watch, a pocket watch, because they didn't have wristwatches at that time. And Prabhupada was extremely punctual. Now, generally, you got this Indian Standard Time, where you're not punctual. But it says that the regulation of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan was like lines on a stone. So in other words, you could tell the time of the day from them. And I've tried to do that in my own life. As everybody knows, in the morning program, I'm there at a certain time, same time before Mangalarti every morning. I get up, unless something happens, other things happen. At the same time. And that way I don't have to think about anything except for Krishna. Of course, if one has a little child, it's not as easy. But as far as possible, be like Prabhupada. He lived his life according to the clock. You read it, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that's even more so. You hear about Bhaktivinoda Thakur's schedule, you remember that? Taking rest at 10, getting up at 8, getting up at 10, taking little power naps in the morning. I'm not saying I couldn't do that, you couldn't do that. None of us have that sort of transcendental body. But it was so regulated, and he got so much done. So much done. I mean, I know when I can get my rounds done before Mangal Arti, then the rest of the day I'm free to be in Maya. Oh, sorry. So I'm free.
Free of Maya.
Yeah, I'm joking, of course. Then the rest of the day, you have so much opportunity to serve Krishna. I mean, not everybody can do that. Some people have service at night or whatever. But it's very blissful to know, once you're regulated like that, then you don't have to think about it anymore. At least don't think about the time anymore, because you're regulated. And then you're just chanting, you don't have to worry about it. You'll get on the mental platform. What am I going to eat for breakfast? Would I like pizza this morning for breakfast? Or would I like pakoras for breakfast? No? Okay. Oh no, you're from Bengal. Would I like khichdi for breakfast?
She doesn't like
No?
rice.
Rice for breakfast. You're not from Bengal. I mean, as far as I know, they eat rice, breakfast, lunch,
I don't
and dinner.
understand how it works.
I don't understand how it
3
works.
times rice.
Rice, like 3 times a day rice. And they eat so much rice, it's unbelievable. So, anyway, then there's no mental problem and no speculation. I know what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat, when I'm going to take rest. And then the rest of the day, I'm just filling up with Krishna. Except for special days like today. That's it, a little bit different. Then we make the adjustment. But normally it's really blissful to be regulated like that. And I was like that when I was a kid. I would always be there on time for school. I had one of the best attendance records for school. Somehow or other, from past life or something, yogi, whatever. And so that really helps a lot, isn't it? And then you minimizing the other things. It's just, I like it. I like having to watch. Like having to look at the watch. It's not just a mobile phone you got to take out of your pocket. Especially if you don't have a pocket. Usually ladies don't have pockets, so then, and you probably don't even know what time it is. You do know what time. What time is it? 7:43. So, isn't it helpful? You don't have to watch either.
I sometimes take it to college.
Sometimes look at what?
Sometimes take it to college.
The watch. You have to, because you have classes at a certain time.
Like really, it's a lot pulling out the phone.
Yeah, it's a lot to pull out.
So, just...
Following Prabhupada's example, the watch being regulated. Prabhupada would, anyway. Then you get much more done. I'm not expecting everybody to do that, but I'm just saying what I do. All right. Any other questions before we take prasad? Because it's...
Thank you, Gurudev. I'm gonna get a new watch soon.
Get a Rolex. Your husband can afford it.
I don't have a watch. No watch. Second mortgage.
I don't know. You find the acharyas. Prabhupada. We always have a deity of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has the watch. Isn't he telling us something by wearing the watch? Anyway, we're selling watches after this program.
This Sunday, everybody come with watches.
We'll take bids for my Pixel watch. The highest bidder wins. Anyway, so okay. Any other quick questions? Because it's time for prasad. It's getting a little late. And we appreciate everybody coming, and we're actually honoring Srila Prabhupada. And, you know, appreciating whatever service I've done for Prabhupada. And this encourages me, too. It's actually important. It's not just praise, it's encouragement. That I feel that I've contributed something to people's lives. To me, that's the most important thing. Rather than, you know, building temples or something like that. I mean, this community started with just like 2 or 3 people. And, you know, long time ago, 1982, we started. And now we have a vibrant community. And this is what makes me happy. There's all these nice, loving devotees. It's just blissful, isn't it? That's opulence. That's riches. That's what we want. Okay, so I guess we'll all take prasada if that's all right. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Ki jai. That's a typical Bengali thing. First time I heard it, I was frightened. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was ghost.
We can use in Krishna.
Okay, prasadam for everybody.